Next one is Sarah's two poems from two series of Comfort and from the Hudson lines. And she can talk a little bit about the two, how her poems related with the returning home.
Thank you, Gina. Yeah, so I love the poem. I love the music that goes with the poem. In my head, the Guqin sounds kind of like a dobro or a lap steel guitar in a way that is evocative for me. I thought about reading poems that were kind of in the same like tone, emotional world as the Chinese poem. So I brought two selections from two different series of mine. I'm going to read a little bit from one, and then June's going to play a little musical interlude, and then I'll do the second series. And just a note about each of them. The first one is from a series called Comfort, and the world of that manuscript is the Great Plains, specifically Nebraska, and these big expansive spaces, so you can picture that. And then the second series is called the Hudson Lines, and it was a constraint that I gave myself over the past 4 years or something. I'm from the Hudson Valley in New York State, and every time I went home and rode the Metro North commuter rail from Grand Central Terminal to Poughkeepsie, which is the closest stop to my parents' house and the end of the line, I would write for the entire almost 2 hours. It kind of varies depending on whether it's an express train or not and what time of day. But like somewhere between an hour and a half and an hour and 50 minutes or something. So I did that for several years, and it generated all these poems that are sort of about like interior, exterior landscapes blending over the course of these journeys. And I thought that had something to do with returning home. Okay. So this is the first series from Comfort. I forget what a new friend feels like, our place on the small hill. When women first came here, it might be months before they heard another woman's voice. But sunup is respiteless, constant. Building the barn, balloon frame, ting rings out over space, a cage to float away. Bugs vibrate, weighty summer after summer after summer after, and to paint our farmhouse orange, we harvested sugar pumpkins. We needed all 12 children to get enough gallons for the kitchen L alone. To part ways with hasps, to drill into the wall, find wasps nests underneath plaster, to eat berries out of a handkerchief, or from the well of fabric created with upturned apron, purple spreading in star-like patterns across a Cartesian cotton grid. I've learned the things that haunt me haunt nobody else. I am a shell of a vehicle, only a blood hum of peace, peace, peace in winter, interior warm with colored life. Home feels like several odd chunks that manage to fit in the hand, good enough. A makeshift place to hold the fire, a mysticized study of pain. Sun disappears, but the song stays, the heat stays, severity of how you see me, the love somehow of a life in which we look for lost objects, in which the last lost objects belong to us. So I create a small space where leaves can blow across the road in summer, the ones that fall easy all over themselves in a hurry to get to the river. That's where I hold you. That's my little death. That's the way afternoon light hits the stairs. Some things just don't go anywhere. They fall to the side of the purple road. I walk in a scarf line through untold color, and I can forgive myself. I was cloudless, sky crowded by gnats. I was sun in the eyes of a stranger, but red is no longer the only color, and red is not the only section of light, warm beneath an orb. Hold me there to that. Train sound, tree shadows on our bedroom blinds. If only the dead could know this. And sing me a way of being close to me without being inside me. My blue self is quiet and waiting for my red half to return. But you won't slow down to see death's purple mergings. You won't see a new life for the field. The ditch deepens each season, an undertow in a stone room, steeped in burning lavender. Lock yourself out once, I'll let you in. Twice, I can't do this anymore. Everything is change in the valley of summer. The conflagration is me. If you love this body, let it go into sedge, into blue stem, in search of tall ships and their anchors. Anchors hold down the roof of our house, oxidized prisms that mimic true north. And a ways out, I watch the blonde wood get relief from the winter sun as it sets. Leave me here to heal. Leave me here wanting more. In a circle of purple sky, in the circle we built together. I turn on the light, and living things scamper off the world's edge. Let it be, sings the one that stays behind, but I smell the wind. Northbound, thin winter light, crossing into the next burrow just before it disappears. Ventilation and curve, silvery chop of Spite and Dival Creek, a tiny low to the water bridge. We are one set of tracks, we merge with another, we learn to parallel, setting homeward. Barbed wire lining our way. The Palisades, military loved, on the opposite shore. Yonkers substation, where I will keep you going, where I will let things go on their own, downhill if they must. Romanesque form of the factory, a mimicry, a blue replacement for river and sky, an unused pavilion. Hampered estuary sounds. I notice my skin hurts when I'm tired, really tired. I scrape so easy. I love this, all of this. These are the highlands. Gulls over brick, if I could tell you. Layers of mountain cut in on each other, perfect, architectless. If I could tell you, Blades of sun on the widest part, a poem in which a person sees what has been plainly left in sight. A nameless island, glacial leavings, breakneck station, operational, summers only. For what the empty robin's half shell intact on the sidewalk? This far north, there are still chunks of ice on the shore. It's colder at the edge, we're shallower somehow. We enter a forest that separates us from the water, and so see only from below an estate up on the ridge. I am looking for the lost material. The sun obscures all sense of what. Little village, collector of darknesses, spotted in snow, huddled cold spring. I will get off here someday. I am usually far. The river opens itself up, convenient, commercial. What would it be to put these fingers inside, then taste them, taste the cold? You come to outbuildings via inbuildings, you the widest span. My hand as Wang, the tunnel as what can never be said. My tiny spur, my unbuilt access point, my pile of bone, tires, and driftwood fronting the tracks. I found a deer femur there,